The UAE's business activity expands at a slower rate in November, and Neovision is reportedly launching a carbon credit fund. You're watching the Daily Brief with Forbes. I'm Ramia Faraj. Non-oil business activity in the UAE expanded at a slower rate in November than in the previous month, as a softer rise in new export business dampened sales growth. The S&P Global UAE PMI ticked slightly lower to 57 in November from 57.7 in October, yet remains well above the 50 threshold mark that signals expansion in activity. Firms reported a sharp rise in new business inflows, and this upturn spurred inventory growth levels to rise to a near 6-year high. Abu Dhabi-based portfolio and funds management firm Neovision Wealth Management is reportedly establishing a $250 million fund to invest in the development of carbon credits in frontier markets. The Global Carbon Credit Development Fund will focus on projects led by investment firm Global Frontier Capital. These projects aim to generate tradable carbon credits. Neovision officials expect demand for carbon credits to soar as the world transitions towards a low-carbon economy. The carbon credit market was valued at $87.9 billion last year. Indian billionaire Gautam Adani, the chairman of infrastructure conglomerate Adani Group, is witnessing his net wealth soar on double-digit stock gains. Shares of all Adani Group companies have been surging since Monday, after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Bharatiya Janata Party emerged victorious in 3 key state elections. Investors saw this win as a precursor to next year's federal elections. Adani, who is considered to be close to Modi, got a massive boost, with shares of his group companies notching up double-digit gains. And that brings us to today's Forbes Real-Time Billionaires ranking, which tracks the daily wins and losses of the world's wealthiest people. Our biggest winner today is Gautam Adani, up $14 billion today alone, and now with net wealth of $74.2 billion. Our third place winner is Adani's brother Vinod Adani, up $3.5 billion, now with net wealth of $20 billion. And our second biggest winner today is LVMH's Bernard Arnault. He's up $4.2 billion with net wealth of $191.7 billion. Check out our website and our social media for all of the latest billionaires news. British American Tobacco says it will take a hit of around $31.5 billion as it writes down the value of some American cigarette brands and acknowledges its traditional market has no long-term future. Stricter regulation and growing awareness of health risks is squeezing tobacco companies' traditional business. BAT also points to economic challenges in the U.S., where some inflation-weary consumers are downgrading to cheaper brands or switching to vapes. Eurozone banks are the biggest lenders to polluting industries, and they use PR to mask their support. That's according to a European Central Bank blog. The ECB has been trying and failing for years to force lenders to disclose more of their climate risk and has threatened to increase capital requirements if they don't. It says banks appear reluctant to lend to young firms that could potentially drive innovation in cleaner technologies or high-emission companies that could green their business. Airline profits are set to stabilize in 2024 as continued growth in post-pandemic travel is offset by the high cost of capital and capacity constraints. That's according to IATA. The global airline sector's net profit is expected to reach $23.3 billion this year and $25.7 billion next year. But IATA says the high cost of capital driven by rising interest rates is troubling. It says, on average, airlines will retain just $5.45 for every passenger carried. I'm Ramia Faraj. This is the Daily Brief. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.